Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back today to another video. And in today's video, I'm starting a new challenge. And in this challenge, I'm going to be aim training for 7 days. Now, Slam, how did you get this idea? Well, easy. I play Marvel Rivals and I'm really enjoying the game, and I feel like me just being the type of person I am, I want to just get better at aiming. Like, I want to increase my shot accuracy, so that's how we're here. The last time I really played a game that involved intense aim was Fortnite, and I used to play Fortnite a lot like a couple years ago, but this past year I've been playing Street Fighter a lot, so I haven't really aimed at all. So I think this would be a very interesting challenge to see how my aim develops over the course of 7 days, and who knows, maybe we could continue this to like 30 days or 2 months or 3 years or whatever. So if that sounds cool, drop a like and a sub, I guess. And yeah, let's get into the video. As you guys can see, I started yesterday. I didn't record yesterday because I got the idea after I did the drills. You can see I started the streak yesterday. So today's day 2. We're going to be starting on day 2 and we're going to go all the way to day 7, and we're just going to see how this goes. I do want to have this pretty controlled, so I'm going to be holding myself to a couple of things. One, there's a Marvel Rivals playlist that I don't know was already created, so I'm gonna start off by doing that, and then if I want to continue and do a couple of more drills, I will continue, but I don't want to go over the 15-minute window. So I'll go from 10 minutes. That'll be my baseline. Once I hit 10 minutes, I'll stop, but I'll also give myself the opportunity to continue to 15 minutes. So one requirement, complete the Marvel Rivals playlist. Second requirement is to complete a minimum of 10 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes of practice each day. And I think for the sake of this challenge, I'm not going to try to work on any more aim training, whether it's in AimLabs or in game. Like Marvel Rivals, you can go to the practice range and you can practice aim training there. I don't think I'll do that. So I'm excited to see how these results turn out, to be honest. One of the primary things I want to see throughout this challenge is, does AimLabs/aim trainers actually work? So today's session, I spent more time than I said I was going to spend. Yesterday I said I was only going to spend like 15 minutes max, but I wanted to test out a couple of things today, and I did. I also ended up playing some of the ranked mode that they have in here. Playing the ranked mode helped like differentiate what I'm trying to do or trying to focus on type of things. There's flicking, there's tracking, there's switching. So I feel like the hardest section to kind of work on or get better at is like tracking, only because it's a moving object. The hardest drills are the ones where the sphere is super small and moving really fast, and you got to work on your tracking like that. But while I was going through the drills, I kind of realized a couple of things, and one thing was like, when I was a kid, I used to draw a lot. The way that I would draw was I would have like my reference image, and then I would just like copy that over to the paper that I was drawing on. So with this, it feels like I'm kind of working on some sort of eye-hand coordination similar to that. Like, you're looking at the target, but you're mimicking what you're seeing on the screen to the mouse. That's how I like look at it. That's how I feel about it. I'm looking at the target and I'm trying to replicate what I'm looking at with the mouse. So I thought that was kind of like an interesting thought that I had for today. But I think I'm going to break the goal that I set, where I was going to try to spend like 15 minutes max. Only reason for that is because if I go through the typical Marvel Rivals playlist, like, I'll get used to those drills, so I feel like I'll get a little bit more comfortable. Like, I'll know what to expect with those drills. So I feel like my new goal will be to complete that and then play a little bit of the ranked drills, like go through all the ranked drills and try to get those just better, I guess, just to rep those out, and then play some of the recommended tasks that they have, or the recommended drills when they set up the playlist. I think that's how I'll go about it. So I'm actually liking doing the aim training. It still definitely feels like what I said yesterday, being able to draw, like looking at the ball and kind of drawing that with your mouse, I think is kind of interesting. Back when I was in high school and I was playing football, right, has a lot of different mechanics. When you're playing the game, I played a position called receiver, so part of that position was to catch the ball. Aim training kind of feels similar to that, where you're catching the ball, but that's not the entire game. That's like what I'm feeling, but it's a very important part of your game. If you're able to aim, or if you're able to catch the ball, you know, you can focus on doing other things. It might be easier. So in game, maybe it'll help with like positioning and things like that. I'll be able to devote more like resources of my brain to positioning or Maybe I'm just getting too like in my head about that, but that's what I draw a comparison to. Aiming is like being able to catch the ball, but there are also other things that you need to do when you're playing in the game. And another thing that I said yesterday was I wanted to try doing other drills because I felt like I was going to get used to the drills that I am already doing. So while incorporating the drills that I'm still doing, try to practice like random drills that the aim trainer gives me. But I think today I realized, even though the drills are the same and I kind of know what to expect, like you don't know where the sphere is gonna go or whatever the target is. You don't know what direction it's gonna go. You don't know when it's gonna change direction. And I think my last point, something that I kind of realized last night when I was taking a shower, was it's kind of like going to the gym. I remember on the first day, I didn't really feel like I had the best control over my mouse. Obviously, like I've played games where you have to aim before, but for some reason in the aim trainer it just felt so weird. Today I feel like I have a little bit more control over my mouse. I do feel like I have a little bit more control. Not the best control, but I do have a little bit more control is what it feels like. Feels like what I'm developing. I'm questioning if my sense is a little bit too high, but I don't think I want to think too much about my sense being too high because I just recently moved it down. I used to play on like 2400 DPI for like a lot of games, and then in game just put the sense like really low or like lower the sense. And so recently I changed it from 2400 DPI to 2000 DPI, and maybe I'll lower it more, maybe not. I think the smartest route to go is continue with this DPI for a long time, and then later on, maybe like in a couple months or something, if I feel like it's still too high, then lower it a little bit more. But I think it's best to stay consistent with the settings that I have right now and just practice more on the drills. This is the completion of day 6. Now, yesterday obviously was day 5. I just forgot to yap. So today's my yap for day 5 and day 6. Yesterday, I actually lowered my DPI. I felt like my mouse movement was too jittery, or my cursor movement was too jittery, and it felt like it was a little bit too hard to track at times. So I dumped down my DPI. I went from 2400 to 2000. And then yesterday, basically this whole week, I think I was playing on 2000 when I started this challenge. I was on 2000 DPI. And then yesterday, I just dumped it down to 800. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. So I just dumped down my sense. It honestly didn't feel like too much of a difference. Now, it did feel like a difference at first. It felt like my mouse was a brick and I had to drag it across the mouse pad for my mouse to move. But after about like 10 minutes of use, it started to feel normal. I set my regular desktop DPI to 800, adjusted my sense in Rivals. So I went from 2000 DPI playing on like a 1.3, 1.2 sense X and Y, and I ended up changing my sense to 800 DPI, and vertical horizontal sense are both 3. So after about a day playing on that, it honestly started to feel normal. But in AimLabs, I feel like I'm able to aim a little bit better now. I'm trying to focus on smoothing out my movement. It kind of felt like a tongue twister. I'm trying to focus more on smoothing out my movement in AimLabs, and I guess I feel like it's working in game. I still don't know if it's working in game. I think it's too early to tell, but I like the overall feel of aim training. I said it yesterday or the day before, and I'm gonna say it again. It reminds me a lot of football. When I was playing football, right, there's this machine. You can put a football in the machine. It'll basically throw you the ball and you just practice catching your ball. I would rep that out. So put ball in the machine shoots ball, practice catching, right? We would just rep this out over and over and over. And it's supposed to help us become better at catching the ball. Like I said, there are more mechanics to the game, right? You gotta have game sense, game knowledge, things like that. So in a game like Rivals, I do still think it is very important for you to hit your shots, but I don't think it's as important as other games because you have supports and your supports can heal you. But let's say you're away from your supports or whatever, and it's just you versus the other person 1v1. Like, who is going to win that gunfight? But I think even outside of the game, I do enjoy working on aim training. It just feels fun. I like the mind-muscle connection aspect. Basically looking at the screen to trying to replicate what I'm seeing with the mouse. The hardest drill for me is definitely the one where the sphere is tiny and it's moving fast. Trying to track that thing is the hardest, but it also motivates me to want to continue working on the drill and improve my score. I also like that it shows you the accuracy and the score. At first I was trying to figure out like what's the difference between the score and the accuracy, but you can shoot more shots, hit more targets, but you can be really inaccurate. and still get a higher score. So I like that they incorporate both. But yeah, today's day 6. I feel like I improved like a lot. Definitely the DPI switch was needed. It was very much needed. That's gonna be it for day 6. Tomorrow's the last day for the 7-day challenge thing, I guess. Today is day 7. This is before my session. I've been on AimLabs, I don't know, probably for about like 30 minutes now. I've just been trying to warm up my aim a little bit, doing some of the other playlists and tasks, you know, just going around, messing around. I haven't touched the Marvel Rivals playlist yet because that's been what I've been most consistently recording, the Rivals playlist. But I feel like my aim is pretty warmed up right now. Coming into today, I actually did not feel super confident in my aim, but as I was going through the other playlists, my aim felt like a lot better and getting better accuracy and just scores in general. So that was kind of surprising to me because today I feel the most washed than I did any other day throughout these 7 days. So it's kind of crazy. It feels kind of weird because I didn't record it, so it kind of just feels like I'm yapping. But I'm about to record my Rivals training session, so hopefully, you know, I don't just yap and say how great my scores have came and then I go into that one and all my scores are just bad. Yeah, I'm about to start my Rivals playlist. So yeah, let's get on with day 7. Okay, so I just finished with today's Marvel Rivals playlist session. I think today I probably got the most high scores in a day than I did any other day. So it felt really good. I feel good about aim training, and it is something that I do want to continue doing. It's very cool. It's like going to the gym for the first time, right? And you try to bench, and when you're benching, you don't put any weights on the bar, you just get the bar and like you're struggling and like you're wiggling so much as you're trying to push the bar up. That's what like the first couple of days feels like aim training. And then just doing it consistently for like these number of days, I've definitely felt my mouse control or mouse movement just get smoother. Like I think that's the biggest thing that I notice about myself. My mouse movement has become a lot smoother. Throughout this experience, tracking definitely felt the hardest in the beginning. And don't forget, midway through, I did drop my DPI from like 2000 DPI all the way down to 800 DPI. I think I kind of restarted the challenge midway through the challenge. I went from 2400 DPI, which is a DPI that I've been using in general on my computer for like years, ever since like 2021. I think recently I went from 2400 to 2000, probably within like a week. I don't remember what exact day I dropped it down. So I've only been on 800 DPI for like, I don't know, like what, 3-4 days. This experience is definitely very fun. It is something that I do want to continue. I believe in aim training. I believe in aim training. It's so cool. Like I'm getting higher scores. What the heck? Accuracy going up and the scores going up. It feels very motivating. So I want to see how far I can take this. But if you guys enjoyed this video, I just ask that you guys drop a like and a sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.